Hi everyone, it's Vita, and today I'll be talking about highly requested topic of manifestations and abundance. And all the examples that I'll be sharing are life examples that I've experienced myself, and I hope to give a little bit more clarity on why you may not be manifesting. For example, you may have used visualization board, but you have achieved nothing with that, or you may have danced in millionaire seminars to create a high vibe by jumping and singing, but as soon as you got home, that feeling didn't stay and it didn't manifest anything. I will also talk at the end what are the opposite manifestations, and I think the crucial thing is to understand what's your manifestation style, because it's different for everyone. And I have written down so far 9 styles of the manifestations, and let me see, around 4 or 5 styles of the opposite manifestations. So firstly, let's try to dive into the regular manifestations. One of my friends, let's call her Jane. She's been unemployed for a couple of years. She had a pretty good education, and seeing her struggle of getting a job, of running her business, I thought, oh my God, it's just not gonna work. She must change something completely. But she was continuously proclaiming that I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna get it, you're going to see. And I think, I don't know which year it was, maybe year 3 or year 4, listening to her, I told, even though I absolutely didn't believe anymore she will succeed, I told her, you know, it's so special that despite all the hardship, all the trouble that you have had, you're still proclaiming that it's gonna work, that you're going to succeed. So number 1 is proclamation. What kind of things are you proclaiming? Are you proclaiming positive things, that it's gonna work out for you, that it is already working out for you, or that you're not sure how to make it work, that you're not sure if it's gonna work? So proclamations is very important. Number 2, writing down and forgetting. Here I have an example of myself. I remember I was in my early 20s. I just moved abroad, and it seemed pretty impossible to find the house to live because I didn't have the local contract. I didn't have the amount of money once request to make to rent a certain apartment of the certain price. And once I got online, started looking, one house was rotten, the other house didn't have any space outside, the fourth, fifth, and so on, they all had some crucial thing that was missing, like for example the shower in the kitchen and no separate place for the shower. So I just sat down and I wrote down all the features of the house or the apartment that I would love to have, which I remember was like, you know, having 2 rooms, having some space outside, being renovated, being a certain price. And someone advised me to put it under my pillow while sleeping. So I did put it under my pillow, and I slept on it for 2 or 3 weeks. And I remember after those 3 weeks, I thought, this hell is just not working. I just broke it and I threw it away. And what do you think? The week after, I found something that I was looking for. And it was not like that it found me. Unfortunately, I still had to, you know, be active, make calls, to keep on searching. And on the one that I still didn't believe they will give it to me, I still didn't believe that will be something for me, or they will accept my application, I still kept on soliciting and calling and asking, is it still free? Did someone react? Did you choose that already? And for that particular apartment which I saw and which I wanted, no one has chosen, and it was for me. So writing it down and forgetting, that was number 2. Number 3 is giving up any hope. It's getting this total let go inside of yourself, where it doesn't matter, where you're not really wishing or wanting to have it. It's like kind of, okay, if it's there, if it's not, okay, not a big deal. Number 4 is the visualization board. This is not something of myself. This is usually what I've heard from others, that it worked for them. One of my colleagues, for example, she had a couple of clients that, you know, she really had to spend a lot of effort to break her hands literally on them, because they needed a very tough type of treatment. And one of the times she wrote on her visualization board, no, that particular type of treatment for that and that client. What happened the next week? Client called and said, well, you know, maybe let's try another treatment style, and not the one we have always been trying. And she was like, yes, that's worked. Well, unfortunately, visualization boards have never yet worked for me. I'm curious if I will discover any new things in that. Number 5 would be embodiment through meditation. So basically in the meditation, your mind calms down. You just stay in your center. You just stay in complete peace and calmness, where you detach any type of thoughts or thinking. The thoughts start just flowing and going away, and you don't try to catch any of them. You are detached. And people who work in the client business, this may be a powerful tool for them when they may not be getting clients or may not be getting clients that they want. I always know after I deeply meditated, I always get calls or messages from people trying to make an appointment for their consultation. So maybe that could be something for you. If nothing is working out, if you've tried already everything, the only thing you do, you just try to meditate and to get this good, deep, nourishing feeling, taking care of yourself, taking care of the deeper part of yourself, which is not your emotion anymore, which is your soul. Number 6 would be getting a certain attribute. Here I have 2 examples of my friends. So one of them bought a cooking plate and an oven, which was really huge, which did not fit in his apartment before he found the house that he actually wanted to buy, and which was his dream house. So getting that attribute and continuously thinking, that's so great, I see it already standing in my beautiful house, or I'm sure I'm gonna use it, I'm sure it's gonna be there, helped him to attract the house, to build a dream kitchen, to build the dream place for cooking. Another example was a lady who was single, and she very much wanted love, very much wanted a lover. What she did, she filled her cupboard with a sexy, nice clothes just to get into this energy, how much she appreciates herself being a woman. And that helped her to attract her boyfriend very fast afterwards. So number 7 is absolutely pragmatic. It's just consistently working towards your goal towards your goal without attaching a certain meaning or feeling or extreme importance to it. Let's say you want to graduate from a certain education. You just have that goal after a couple of years, and you consistently work towards that. I remember one lady who came from the same country like me here to the Netherlands, and she worked in the logistics, and she tried to find a similar type of job here. For that, she had to learn the language, and it took her plenty of years, maybe 6 or 7 years, to learn the language, to get certain contacts, to get into the job. She spent all that time believing that at some point she will get back to her profession. She wants to work in the logistics, and at some point she did. So there's no goal that's too big. Number 8, it's giving gratitude. But not just the gratitude in your heart. Sometimes you have to give gratitude. This rule that they say you have to give 1/10 of your goodness to someone in need, or to praise someone, to the community, to give it away for those who need it. And you do it at the same time for your heart, because giving is happiness. I remember a couple of church people who, in the worst financial situations of themselves, were giving offerings to the church and to charities, and that helped them attract the great goodness. I also know a couple of rich people who were absolutely not religious, who really believed in giving 1/10 of their goodness back to the community, and they really deeply believed that there is a law higher than them that helped attract all that goodness in such amazing abundance back. I even had such an experience. In a desperate moment of my life, I remember I gave an offering of 100 euros. And I remember all those people telling that, if something is for you, or if something is not right, you will be paid back 10 times or 100 times for the thing that was taken away from you. And what do you think? After I did that offering of 100 euros, it definitely returned thousands of euros back from that particular situation that was bothering me. The number 9 would be the last one in this list, and it's prayers. And prayers are a mix of visualizations, let go, proclamations, giving gratitude. It's something that you set from yourself, very much wanting and trying to handle it all by yourself somewhere higher. You are leaving it up to the destiny, up to faith, up to God, up to the circumstances, and you're not so attached to it anymore. So prayers is also a very great way of processing and attracting the abundance, of manifesting what you want, directing your thoughts purely on that thing, despite of what the hardship the situation may be mirroring right now. And now let's talk about the opposite manifestations. The opposite manifestations, they create certain energy leaks, certain field where all your goodness, all your great emotions, all the feeling good goes away. It feels a little bit like drained at the end. I think it's good to realize what kind of importance the word plays in the energy leak, because you can create the energy leak not just with the feeling, also with your words. And it's very important to choose the words that you speak, also not to make negative jokes, not to blame somebody, not to condemn anything, especially yourself, with the negative words. Words feel certain vibration. It feeds your feelings, it feeds your thoughts, and it has the power to create positive as well as negative field. And now I will try to reveal what could be those negative manifestations. So the first one are the negative proclamations. I know certain people who were sick with a certain disease and they told, I'm not going to live longer than just 2 years. And they exactly manifested what they were preaching. Or certain people preach, it's not possible to get that job, it's not possible to get the house, it's not possible to get a certain type of relationship or partner that they wanted. And I know a couple of them that still up to today, they believe that thought, that it's not possible, and they never took action. They always found confirmation in their environment of the things being not possible, and it became their truth, unbreakable truth. So I think the most important thing in that situation is firstly to break that belief by seeking or getting the positive examples who are the proof of the living opposite. That could be the start of changing that belief. The second opposite manifestation, it's again attributes, collecting too many attributes, preparing too much for something that you want. In the regular manifestations, I talked a little bit about attributes, but there's still a certain detachment in the positive manifestations. The opposite manifestations, I know a lady who very, very much wanted a daughter, and she collected already from her early 20s the nice clothes, the pink clothes for the daughter, the baby stuff that would be nice for the daughter, the caps, the little jewelry that would be nice for a baby. And what do you think? In her family, she got only boys being born. So preparing too much, over focusing too much on what you want will swap you to the other side, and your manifestation will be basically opposite. Revealing secrets too early. I think people from my culture, they know that, if you have a secret, don't tell it to anybody. If you really wish for something, don't tell it to anybody. And there's this all the wisdom that your grandmother told to your mother, that your mother told to you, and that you are telling to your daughter, but you don't even know where it came from anymore. So I think people in the old days, they were way more respectful to these laws of nature, and they had many rules of superstition, or what you should and what you shouldn't, where they did not know where they came from anymore, but they did work, and they still do work. And I think revealing your secrets too early, or revealing what you want too early, it may destroy you actually getting it. For example, I know a person who soliciting during the solicitations was saying, I'm at the last round, I'm gonna get this amazing project, I'm gonna work for it. Then the other one moved for the study again to the different country, and saw how other students were living, and was like, oh wow, I'm gonna live the same way, the life is gonna be amazing, I'm gonna do A, B, and C. That person returned back to the country of origin. The second one who solicited for this great last round did not go through it. And I think it's important to withhold something that you really want, not to drag the energy all the sides around like talking about it, because it gives a certain disturbance in getting and achieving it. You may also know that modesty is the value, and verbal showing off, praising yourself, verbal pride may be the destroy of these manifestations too. So certain modesty helps. I know a couple of parents who say, oh, my child is so amazing, and what do you think? The next week or the next day that child comes from school with a bad mark or with a fight or involved in a fight with another child. For example, it's good to proclaim, I have strong immunity, I'm immune. But to go around and say, yeah, nothing can happen to me, I'm so immune, I have such strong immune system, my teeth are so strong, it may result in the opposite manifestation too. So we try to respect the nature that's above us, the law, the things that we don't understand. And the only thing we can do, we can create positive field around that. In the difficult moments, in the moments that we are still not having what we want, in the moments that we don't know where it's all going, there is actually science. It is not just a talk. There's science behind it, explaining in detail in quantum physics how it all works. And soon I'll get back to that. So to conclude the negative manifestations, I will share also how I found what creates the energy field leak for me. Maybe you can also then think what creates it for you or what created it for you in the past. So if I would start diving back in the things of my life that, were catastrophic, that were not good, that were very challenging, and I would start telling those challenges really deeply to a friend, I would feel like I feel drained at the end. It doesn't feel good. It feels like a shaky field around my heart. And the next day, usually I would attract something that is of a negative nature, whether that would be a call, whether that's usually something small. And in that way, I've learned, okay, just stop talking about all the negative things that happened in the past. You've processed them. Nobody has to know. Live life as if they don't exist anymore. That can also be a solution. And there's no point in encouraging that past feeling of feeling empty and depleted. This can be to no good anymore. Getting back to the science says that if we want to manifest something, the only thing we have to do, we have to align our mind and our heart, and to withhold that alignment in the feeling, in the field, in the visualization of what we want for at least 17 seconds. Within these 17 seconds, you create the field, the corresponding field towards what you want. It is quite a challenge to stay focused on one thing more than a couple of seconds, but maybe coming down with a meditation, with deeply mirroring what's inside yourself, you can do this 17 to 20 seconds. And what kind of feelings you should be encouraging in those seconds? It's researched that, for example, gratitude, acceptance, compassion, love, understanding, and forgiveness have the power to create this positive field. All these things may not be new to you. All these things have been used in a lot of spiritual rituals, in a lot of religious practices, in a lot of new age practices. If something is bothering you, not going well, if you have some enemy, maybe even, what you can do is you can send gratitude that that situation is resolved, or you send love that what that person needs, who is so much negatively after you, that they're getting what they need, that their heart is satisfied, and that they may be well. You let them go with the loving space of your heart, instead of creating an inner clash. Oh, you should go away, I should push you away, you shouldn't be in my life, this situation shouldn't be in my life. Okay, and for conclusion, I will ask you to close your eyes and to stay with me in a little meditation, a little visualization. See in front of you something that you want. And how does that wanting feel? Does it feel good and at peace? Or does it feel suppressed and rushy? Try to find a place where it feels good inside of you, where for that want for that thing that you want. It's okay to be there. And you have calmness and peace about that. And I'll try to deeply, deeply thank that it's already there, that even if you may not know how to get there, give thanks that all the environment, all the surroundings, nature, and people around you help you naturally move towards that. Become aware from today on what you proclaim in words, and with which feeling do you accompany what you want, and what follows next. Thank you for listening.